Hoi hoi folks, good morning, good afternoon and good evening wherever you are in the world. My name's Sean, aka Uncle Frogface, and welcome to today's video. If you're new here, then welcome. If you're not new, then welcome back. And as you've probably seen from the title of this video, we're returning to a craft that damaged me last time I did it. So yeah, needle felting is one of those crafts that I am interested in. I have tried it once, I injured myself, and I haven't tried it again for nearly a year. In fact, I have over here, this is the carrier bag from the bits from the last kit, so excuse the rustling, I might mute this. Right, okay, so this is what we made last time. This is our little robin, which, you know, needs to come out at Christmas time, and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It's quite a cathartic, therapeutic experience doing needle felting, just stabbing the hell out of something really nice. I did have a lot of leftover stuff, so I have got all of this roving still, which is the wool that you use. I've got the mat. Oh, fly out of my hand. Got the mat, and I've got a couple of needle felting needles as well, which are. Is that rusted? Oh dear. Let me have a look. Yeah, well, I think I'm going to give these a good clean, because if I do end up using these, last thing I want is a big dose of tetanus. But yeah, those are the needles that came with it last time. So, last time we did a Christmassy themed robin. This time, with it being autumn, we've just obviously had Halloween. I'm wearing my lovely pumpkin coloured top. I have a pumpkin cappuccino, pumpkin caramel cappuccino. Oh, it's lovely. Over to the side. Have a guess what we're doing today. Yes, we are doing a pumpkin. So I got this kit. This is a Crafty Things kit from not B&M, from Home Bargains. That's it, and it was cheap when I got it before Halloween. It's probably even cheaper now. This cost me £1.25, and I can see from the back there isn't a huge amount in here, but there are 2 needles, and there's some roving, and there's a pad as well. So, you know what? I'll turn the camera around, and we can just do a dive into this and see what's in here. See if my second attempt at needle felting goes any better than the first attempt in terms of finger injuries. And yeah, let's see what we can make with this little pumpkin kit. Okay, so this is the Christmas kit that I did last time. So this is just tucked up here, just in case I need anything. This, as I said, it feels quite slim, what's in here, but you know, I learned last time that actually there was way too much roving in this one, so who knows. Let's crack this open. So we can see here, makes 1 felt pumpkin, includes wool, felting needles, felting mat, and instructions. I will actually read the instructions. And then we've got this. Let's take this off here. This is just, oh dear. Well, that's not good. The glue is very strong. The Ziploc bag, not so strong. I mean, I don't need the Ziploc now. Now that's fully open. Let's just pop this over to the side and pretend that didn't happen. Right, so we have got, actually looking at is there a picture on the instructions? Yes, there is. So that's the picture. That's what we're going to be making. So it's a grey pumpkin, kind of a steely grey blue with a little brown stalk. So we have brown and we have grey, and it feels very soft, feels very nice. Probably shouldn't be pulling all this apart. And then we've got this, which I'm going to assume is some kind of filling, because the last one, yeah, this one here, we had a polystyrene core, so polystyrene bird, and then we needle felted over the top of it. This one we don't have anything. And then in here, we've got, so is this the mat? This is the mat that came in the last one. It's really nice and soft and sponge. This is just a piece of polystyrene. Oh, let's get the squeak. 1 fresh needle. Yeah, I can feel the barbs on that. And the same here. So if you haven't done needle felting before, basically this needle, if I were to zoom in, you'd see it has lots of barbs on on it. So as you push it through the wool, it kind of picks up the strands and it weaves them together. And when you pull out, they all get stuck together. So it kind of creates a matted texture. You know, if you've ever stroked a cat that has matted fur and you have those fur balls, that's exactly what it's like. It's slightly odd that the mat, what I'm assuming is the mat, is also the storage for the needles. So I'm going to have to take both the needles out to actually give this a go. And now I'm going to have a loose needle on the desk. These ones came in a nice jar. Right, instructions. Okay, this is what I call minimal. So, felted pumpkin kit. Needle felting turns soft wool roving into solid 3D shapes. It's a clever technique, but surprisingly simple. Great for beginners. Start kits make adorable felted pumpkin. Read the tips. Carefully follow the how-to guide to get started. Kit includes wool roving, core wool, yep, the core. Felting needles, felting mats. You may also need scissors. How to? Okay. You will need a lot less wool than you think. Pull gently from one end to separate a small amount. Don't cut the wool. To separate it, as sheared edges won't integrate properly into the felted project. Don't cut the wool to separate it, as the sheared edges won't integrate properly into the felted object. Use the photo for guidance as you work. Top tips: be careful when using the needles. Avoid being too forceful. So needle just enough for the bulb sections to catch. Needle most of the core wool into the shape of the pumpkin. If there are any holes or imperfections, you can fill in the reserved core wool to achieve a perfect pumpkin. Tear apart the main pumpkin wool to thin layers to cover the core wool. Continue to use the needle to form the shape. Right, okay. So the instructions basically say, take this, turn it into a pumpkin, cover it in this. Oh, God. Right. In case anyone at Craftsy is watching this, and I highly doubt you are, but maybe I'll send this to you, just as a heads up. These are not really instructions. Oh dear, I feel like I should rewrite these after I do this kit and submit it to them. Right, okay, let's just get cracking then. So we've got our core wool, which it says to felt this into the shape. Oh, that's, you know, I think I'm going to keep this mostly kind of together because it's all fairly matted already. I'm just going to go ahead and pull it apart a little bit and kind of form it into a ball, and then I'm going to felt it all together. This is going to shrink a lot because of shrinking. That's what it does. Let's grab a needle. I'm going to put this other needle up here somewhere safe. Right, so protect my desk like my desk needs protecting. It's covered in paint and goodness knows what else. So I'm just stabbing this together, and where I stab this together, it's going to form a nice matted texture. Yes, so I remember from last time doing this, it's therapeutic, but it takes a while. So whilst I'm doing this, I suppose I should let you know what I've been doing recently. So as many of you know, I have opened an Etsy shop, which is, start that again. As many of you know, I have opened an Etsy store selling art. So my store is not just art, it's art and costumes and props and cosplay stuff and all sorts. So right now it has art up, but I am working on other things as well. So I will constantly be putting more artwork up, and I'm really loving just spending time painting and drawing and doodling and getting things ready. I've got a lot of acrylics up. I'm currently working on some watercolours. Oh, this takes time. But I'm working on props as well. So the Tooth Fairy wand that I made in a recent video, that I'm actually making another one of those, which will, it's actually currently printing, at least the handle section of it is printing, so that will be going up. And then this afternoon, maybe this evening after I finish this video, but yes, at some point today, I'm going to be sewing up some costume pieces. So I've got a rather lovely cloaky cape pattern that I want to make, and I'm undecided yet as to make it with a hood or without a hood. Right, this is going to take a while, so rather than me just whittering on, I'm going to cut and come back once I've got this into the rough shape that I want it. Okay, so far so good. In fact, let me just zoom in a little bit and show you what I've done. So this is what we've got so far. This only took about 10 minutes. It's still quite soft and fluffy, so I haven't really packed it and condensed it. But if any of you are familiar with baking, I kind of made this like a bread roll. So when you have bread roll dough and you kind of fold it all back into one point, so you get a nice smooth top and then a bit on the underneath. Except I'm going to use that bit as my top, so I've got somewhere for my little stalk to stick out of as well. Oh, that looks so weird. Like some kind of alien. Right, so I've got that, and now basically the instructions say cover it in this. What it doesn't tell you to do is how to create the ridges of the lobes of the pumpkin. So I think I've got an idea of that. I'm going to keep a little bit of this aside if I can. So I'm going to try and keep this aside and then use just this piece to cover this. I think that should probably be enough. So for this, I'm just going to take some, I'm going to lay it on, and then stabby stabby. Stabby, stabby, stabby. And as we stab this, we fuse the fibres of the grey wall to the fibres of the infill. I'm just going to kind of knit it and fuse it all together. This is a fun craft to do. I can't imagine it's a fun craft to watch. Could be wrong, but I know if I was watching this YouTube video, I would be very bored at the stabby, stabby, stabby. So, I'm not going to do an epic montage like I did when people made comments about swatching on someone else's video. I did an epic swatching montage. No, I'm just going to cut. We'll cut here, and then we'll come back when this is all completely covered and looks like this, but grey. A little bit of time later, and we have this hairy ball, bit of a spare, bit of a patch there where it's a bit bare, but it's okay. I think once it gets squished down a little bit more, you're going to see that less. It's just going to take more time. I do have a little bit more of this left. I'm trying to keep this so that I can use it for something else, but if I have to improvise, then I will do. But yeah, I'm just going to carry on working on this for a little bit and make it neater and tighter and bring it all together. And I'll be back with you once we're at that point. Okay, so this is a little bit later, and this is now getting nice and dense and spongy. I'm really enjoying just stabbing the heck out of this thing. Really, really therapeutic. If you are having any stress in your life, take up needle felting. It's really fun just to get on these and stab, 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 stab. I said that last time. I should do this more often. Makes it sound like a really stressful life. No, but you know, we've all got stresses that we need to take out. Right, so yeah, I've just been getting on, stabbing this, enjoying myself stabbing it, listening to horror podcasts whilst I do that. In fact, here's a quick question for you. How many of you listen to music or audiobooks or podcasts whilst you're crafting? I do all the time, but I always am looking out for new things. So leave a comment down below and give me a suggestion of something to listen to. So an audiobook or a podcast, something that I can lose my mind with whilst I'm doing something creative. But yeah, just leave a link or leave a suggestion, name of something down, and I will check it out and I'll get a big thumbs up from me as well. Back to the pumpkin though. So this is the image that we got, and you can see here, so it looks pretty flat all the way around except this one lobe here. And I think what they might have done here is actually get some string and use that to create that lobe. So I'm going to do something similar, but actually using the roving that we've got. So the good thing with roving is I can take a little bit of it and I can twist it together. I'll probably even take less than this. But like, I can twist it together and it creates a string. And this is how yarn for knitting and crochet is made. It's just by spinning roving. And then if I pull that tight, you can see I get a lovely lobe, and because it's just roving, I can knit this into the rest of the fabric and it should stay nice and taut. So I am gonna carry on a little bit with this, just getting it even more stabbed and poked in, and then I'm gonna create my lobes with this, and I'll be back once that's done and we can make our little stalk and maybe something extra. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, right, I'm gonna hold this like this for a second because I've kind of made a pumpkin butt, or a felted bum. I just wanted to show you basically what I've done. So I created a strip of roving, I attached it at the top, and then I stretched it around. You can see, look, we've got a lovely cleft in our pumpkin now. I pulled it down, secured it at the bottom, and then I basically just needle felted through. So this is doing double duty in kind of holding it in place, but also reinforcing that cleft for each of the lobes of the pumpkin. So I think that is a technique I'm gonna go for. Not bad, is it? Problem solving, my second ever time needle felting, but there we go. Right, so look, we've got a lovely needle felted butt with a little tuft hanging out. But yeah, I'm. Oh God, do I need to censor that? No, it'll be fine. I'm gonna create a few more lobes. 5, I think, maybe 5 lobes, maybe 6. We'll see how I'm feeling. But yeah, it's definitely not going to be symmetrical. But I will come back to you once we've got our pumpkin looking more loby. Okay, here we go. This is now all finished, the pumpkin part at least, and I'm pretty happy with it. Eagle-eyed among you might realise, yeah, I stabbed myself again. It was mindlessly stab, and right into the finger. So this is why I try these things, because I am a professional idiot, and I get to tell you, don't be looking at song lyrics whilst you're needle felting, because you will stab yourself no matter how much you want to sing along to the song. But yeah, this is now done. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to create our little stem. I might do something a little bit nicer than that, maybe a little bit twisty turny. And then I've got a little bit extra, so I think I'm going to take out of this old kit a bit of this black and give this pumpkin a bit of a face. Turn it into a little jack-o'-lantern. Why not? So yeah, let's get this done. I'll show you when this is finished and then we'll attach that, and then let's think about attaching a face as well. There we go. I think you'll find that's a little bit nicer than just a plain little twiggy stump on top. So now I'm just going to quickly attach this to the pumpkin, and then essentially that is the kit done. But then, stick around, we're going to turn this into a little character. So let's get this bit done first. So all I'm going to do to attach is just stab all around here. So I have found, like doing this little bit here, you can actually do some precision felting. So if you pull a bit, poke it in, pull a bit, poke it in, it kind of knits it together so you can get at least a little bit of precision, and then go back and stab the living hell out of it, because that apparently is what needle felting is. Think about all of these all these lovely, kindly old ladies, like my friends of my nan, who do needle felting, and they're such sweet dears. And then you realise that actually this is what it is. I mean, replace this with a voodoo doll, and that's actually terrifying. So I think that is just about attached. That's how simple it is to attach two pieces together. So there, that's actually quite sweet. There's our little pumpkin. Should we give him a face? Right, let's pick a side to put the face on. Well, I quite like that because then we've got this. It's almost like a little hair tuft as well. I'm thinking kind of scarecrowish. So I'm just gonna take. Where did I put it? Ah, there it is. There we go. I'm just going to take some of this black, and I think I'm going to do circular eyes, one there, and a little mouth, a la Jack Skeleton, maybe. So yeah, I'm going to quickly felt that on, and then I'll come back and show you how it's all turned out. Okay, are you ready for the big reveal? Da 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 da! There he is. Kind of feels like a stop motion animation character, like it's some kind of Muppet. I'm kind of tempted to make him a body at some point, but yeah, what do you think? I've got a couple of final thoughts, so let's turn the camera around and have a bit of a chat. Yes, so a couple of final thoughts. Put my teeth back in, try that again. Yeah, a couple of final thoughts. So this Crafty Things kit, the instructions, as you know, are absolutely dire. But I do have a slightly bigger issue. So this wasn't intending to be a review of this kit, and it really isn't either. It's just me playing with a bit of needle felting and making something cute. However, something happened towards the end of this. So I was, ironically, putting the eyes on this, and we had two needles in this kit. Well, one of them snapped. It didn't just snap, the piece just there, I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see that, but that shard of needle, barbed shard of needle, actually flew out and got me in the cheek. So incredibly dangerous. I mean, I'm not sure how often these needles break like that, but yeah, that was interesting. So ironically, making an eye nearly lost an eye. But that aside, I'm actually really enjoying needle felting. This, as I say, really super cute little jack-o'-lantern. I kind of want to give him a scarecrow body. If you want to see me turn this into a full character, like a stop-motion type character, leave a comment down below, and maybe that will be a future video. As always, I really hope you've enjoyed today's video, and until next time, goodbye.